cotton industry. Australia's cotton industry is worth approximately $1.5 billion annually and has around 800 growers of cotton in Australia. One of the main reasons that cotton is grown is because it is a natural fiber that is comfortable and extremely useful. It provides a high-protein source of stock feed and is also used in the extraction of oil and the production of banknotes and X-rays. Cotton has many preying insects such as the bollworm, and repeated spraying to protect the cotton crop that cost Australian farmers more than $250 million each year on insecticides. The use of insecticides presented certain problems. They were sometimes killing other insects of similar species, as well as killing beneficial insects and causing harm to birds that consumed unhealthy insects. There was a risk to human health with pesticides. This led to a biotechnological solution to the problem created by insects and the bollworm. By the early 1990s, cotton bollworm had developed resistance to most chemical pesticides. Brilliant CSIRO scientists genetically modified cotton to produce Bt cotton, also known as Bacillus thuringiensis, which is a natural soil bacterium that kills the bollworm, a major prey of the cotton plant. When the Bt gene is inserted into cotton plants, they produce toxic proteins called leaf tissue. It's very specific. It only kills bollworm caterpillars and very closely related species and does no harm to the cotton. By 1999, 40 million hectares of genetically modified Bt cotton had been planted worldwide. In the same year, about 1/3 of Australia's cotton crop was now genetically modified cotton. Although the introduction of the new cotton, called InGuard and developed by the CSIRO, reduced the amount of insecticide spray used on cotton crops, some bollworm caterpillars were found to be resistant to Bt and needed to be sprayed with insecticides to prevent the passing of this trait in newer generations. The CSIRO created a new form of genetically modified cotton known as Bollguard 2, which further reduced the possibility of the bollworm developing resistance. This had many benefits and reduced the pesticide use in Australia by up to 80%. Let us now discuss biotechnology and the points of discussion surrounding genetically modified cotton. Biotechnology refers to techniques used by scientists to modify the genetic material of a microorganism, plant, or animal in order to achieve a desired trait. Genetic modification of crops includes altering, eliminating, or adding genes from an organism so that the advantages far outstretch the changes that occur due to natural evolution or traditional selective breeding. There are many arguments that support the use of genetically modified cotton. Insect-resistant genetically modified cotton provides farmers with an opportunity to implement much more effective pest management strategies into their farming systems and helps reduce harmful chemical usage. It also saved more than $50 million annually, and genetically modified cotton increased the opportunities to export more cotton products overseas to increase revenue and income for the agricultural sector. According to CSIRO, the use of Bt cotton allowed the industry to reduce pesticide applications by 56% each season, with an eventual reduction of 80% compared to conventional crops. Early trials with Bollguard 2 have been promising, with much better insect control than previous varieties, and with a further reduction in pesticide applications means that it's more environmentally beneficial than ever before. Many people also see the genetic modification as a safe extension of traditional crop breeding, and it is usually safe as it is done in carefully controlled laboratory procedures after much research. However, there are also arguments against genetically modified cotton. There was a fear that cotton bollworms and other similar species would develop resistance to the plant. Unfortunately, this was true for Bollguard 1, which eventually became nearly 10 times as resistant to Bt as compared to when it was created. However, this is one of the main reasons that Bollguard 2 was released, and it was successful in its aim to hinder the resistance against genetically modified cotton crops. To help counter resistance management strategies have also been developed. Another disadvantage is that there may be minor socio-economic effects, such as small-scale farmers being dominated by major cotton retailers. However, genetically modified cotton clearly shows economic advantages. Another argument against genetically modified cotton is that, as with all new scientific ventures, there will be consequences that are very difficult to prepare for or even expect. There have been reports of increased growth in the population of bugs that were only minor pests in areas of the world that use Bt cotton. and many of these pests have the ability to attack other crops and are gaining resistance. But what is your opinion about Bt cotton? I strongly support genetically modified cotton. It has huge potential benefits for the agricultural industry and has reduced pesticide usage by more than 80%. This places farmers in an economically and financially secure position, and cotton has already increased yields and crops grown around the world. Genetically modified cotton has been created in laboratory-controlled conditions and definitely helps the environment. Genetically modified cotton is a very sustainable approach to agriculture and has the potential to feed more people around the globe for an economically secure future.